So yesterday, my husband and I actually launched this thing we called Ember Observer. It's a, I don't know if anybody knows of Ruby Toolbox, meant to categorize and rate Ember add-ons. And so here it is. And so it's our first pass, so the categorization might be a bit rough. And so I'm just going to talk a little bit about what it is, why we built it, and how we built it. To start off, so if you look, you come here, you can see a number of different categories. Components has a number of subcategories. And the goal is that you'd be able to go to one of these categories and compare what's available to you within that type of add-on. So if I went to autocomplete, I can see all the many different type of heads and autocomplete add-ons available, and they each have a score. And the same thing is true of something that's interesting. If you look at select, there's many different select options for Ember CLI add-ons. And so on the site, there's also a link to where we explain a little bit about why we built this. And so the score is interesting. Sorry, I can step back. There's two components. So there's the reviews, which I'm calling reviews, but they're really kind of evaluations. And it asks 5 questions. Is the source accessible? Because I found some add-ons that don't have any way to find the source. Is it more than an empty add-on? Is it more than the base-generated Ember CLI add-on? Are there meaningful tests? And I took that to mean if it's any tests beyond the base-generated add-ons, base-generated tests from Ember CLI. Is the README filled out? Does it tell you how to use it? And does the add-on have a build? And that's applicable only if there are meaningful tests. And so the score is composed of a point for each yes to those questions, and then a point for a release within the last 3 months, a point for one commit within the last 3 months, for more than one commit within the last 3 months, a point for more than one contributor. Actually, I didn't make this bigger. Oops, there, now you all can see it. A point for having a download count in the last 30 days that is in the top 10% for all add-ons, and a point for having a GitHub star count in the top 10% of all add-ons. And the total score is out of 10. And so in the course of doing this, I went through every single Ember CLI add-on, and I found some very interesting things. A lot of add-ons, I opened 52 pull requests to update or fix the repository URL in package.json. So, yeah, if you're so if you're an add-on maintainer, fill out your package.json files, please. And if you set the description, it'll show up nicely on an individual add-ons page, which I realized I should show. So let me go to one of my favorite add-ons. I can't spell, but there we go. So there's this nice autocomplete drop-down with all of the add-ons, and also the categories show up there as well. And so if you look on an add-on, you see the description that comes from the package.json, the score that is calculated from the review and from live GitHub data, and a lot of info from NPM as well. It's similar to Ember add-ons, and one of the goals for the recent future will be to collaborate with Ember add-ons. And you can see the review here as well. And let's see. So it pulls data hourly from NPM and GitHub, and the reviews and the categorization are manual. And we made it in a month of time. We started on February 1st. Not intending for this, just because that was the day at which I got annoyed and couldn't find an add-on I needed. And it is an Ember app, and it is open source. It's under Ember Observer /client on GitHub, and it is, of course, an Ember app. And so that can be examined there as well. And so in the course of doing this, I actually looked at the contribution graph, and so we've done almost 30 commits a day for about a month to the client, and then on top of that, there's the server. So I was surprised at how much work we put in. To finish up, yesterday when I tweeted about this, Matt Beal responded and put it much more eloquently. So, what score does your add-on have? That's all I have.